scoreboard signals to get us underway. The Panthers to play this first half into the breeze. And this ground is missing a lot of grass between the 22s. Almost like Penrith Beach, I guess you would call it, Bill Anderson.
You certainly would, Graeme. And Penrith won the toss, you know, and elected to go into this strong westerly. What I read into that is they know it's a very loose surface. It's going to make both sets of players leg weary. I think they want to be coming with the wind when they're getting tired. Number one and number two side virtually in this match, in this clash.
Well, indication of the strength of the wind. Alexander tried to kick into it, then it only went about 25 metres.
Inside the 5 from that kick. Cartwright, one of them.
Now the difference will be seen with the wind, with the kick with the wind. And you saw Hawke get the ball well and truly up into the crowd there. Very strong breeze behind the Broncos, running from right to left and across field.
Dowling. I just wonder how long Sam Bacco will last, how much they'll use him up early. Here he comes. His first charge for quite a few weeks. Gets it back for Kerrod Walters. Right on the 22. Dowling to look for Langer. Penrith up very quickly on G. Now, Langer and Kevin Walters. Carter was up quick on Kevin Walters. Hone, straight up the middle. All the set of 6 has been kept just outside the 22. Right on the last, the Panthers give a penalty away and they play the ball.
Yes, that was a manufactured penalty. Got up very, very quickly and played it into the body of the Penrith player there, you see. And the penalty came automatically. The referee has to give the penalty in those situations.
Well, Royce also guilty of pulling back Hone as he tried to play it. Eddie Ward, task in this difficult top of the ladder clash. Madison looking for early points, strikes it well. Brisbane away to the lead, 2-0 over Penrith. Set with the restart. In a reserve grade match, a number of times sides kicked out on the full from the restart. Alexander plays it safe and goes down the middle. Langer. Khan's wrapped up and upended solidly. Hoff goes for a run. Kerrod Walters for Dowling to take over. They get strongly to the 22 and kick immediately. Jackson. And David Green perfectly positioned. He was very, very deep. 40 out from the Penrith line now.
Yes, let's have a look at this reserve grade result in one of the most grueling, torrid games with one player sent off in the Brisbane side. The Brisbane side came up with a very courageous victory, 8 points to 6. Real semi-final football.
Well, Simmons just tries to gain an easy 5 or 6 metres on their last tackle. He was well and truly offside, G, in the play of the ball as marker. Took off before it was played. Too far out for a kick for goal into this breeze. Alexander to look for touch and put the Panthers on the attack.
Well, he found touch, but on the first hop.
It's almost as if he was trying to kick to that player.
Yes, it looked that way, didn't it? Now here's Green taking play inside the Broncos 22. Good opportunity for the Panthers to come back for Cartwright and then for Vitanza. Gets to within 12 metres of the line. Cartwright, the switch of play to Alexander, then to Carter. Quick hands. Panthers are about 15 metres away from the Broncos line. From the Broncos line, I should say. Fittler gets to within the 10-metre mark. Simmons is dummy half. Back for Cartwright. Cartwright beat the first man. 5 tackles used up, but the Panthers are only about 5 metres short. Alexander Little kick into the in goal. It's a Penrith try. I think you'll know. No try. Referee Eddie Ward ruling the Penrith player knocked that on.
Well, let's have a look at it. Alexander put the little tiny kick through, and it appears to be Carter there, but the referee has judged that he knocked the ball forward in going down for it. Here's another look at it, and apparently the referee is correct. There's the ball standing free on its own, and that's a bit of a let-off for the Broncos.
Good call by referee Ward. The sun sneaks behind the clouds as Dowling gets to the halfway mark. Now here's Backo. Langer for Walters, now for Jackson. And the mistake coming from Johns.
Well, normally these two players are very, very sure handlers, particularly Johns, but on this occasion he just doesn't seem to concentrate hard enough as Jackson turned the ball back in on the State Bank replay, and down it went. Very critical mistake.
Here's Arden Mortimer, fresh reserve for the Panthers. The first scrum of the match goes down on the halfway mark. Worked by Alexander. It's come to Carter. Quickly caught though by Kevin Walters. Green in a dummy half for Vandervoort.
You know my opinion of Carter. I've already spoken about it at some length. I think he's one of the most talented players in the Penrith club, and I've been wanting to play at 5'8". I hope he has a big game tonight.
Well, Vandervoort's fallen on the loose football. Handling becoming a bit of a problem for a number of players. Clark couldn't handle that one. Last tackle. Alexander back for Cartwright. His kick sits up nicely for Hoff. And he gets almost to the 22. 2-0, the Broncos over Penrith. As Khan makes it to the 22. He comes Backo. Caught by Vandervoort.
Well, Sam Backo's belying the fact that he's on there for a short period of time. You'd expect him to be putting in a massive amount of work, and he's only handled the football 3 times.
Jackson chased and caught by Vandervoort. Here's Walters. Khan beat one, and Vandervoort in there again to bring him down. Walker in there to assist. Come back for Jackson. David Green way back downfield. That's a good kick from Jackson. Now Green was standing a long way back, but that kick was too good.
Yes, on the State Bank replay, this was absolutely the perfect kick. You couldn't get any better than this. It just landed on its point and shot straight end over end over end, about another 15 metres gain. So that's an incredible gain of about 70 metres from where he kicked it.
We remind you the Broncos are playing with the aid of a very strong breeze, as Green is pulled down about 12-13 metres away from the Penrith line. Stewart will play it. Now Royce Simmons, good run from him. Now Clark.
Who's becoming something of a try scorer in recent matches.
Here's Cartwright. Crowd urging the referee to keep the Brisbane side back. Carter gets to the halfway mark. Penrith starting to look pretty good as Darren Stewart gets into the 22. He's got support. Oh, this is a great Penrith try. Fittler is in to score. But that's a magnificent effort. It started way back in the Penrith side of halfway.
Yes, indeed, and I've got to say that young Carter, with his quick handling, was one of the prime movers in it. Cartwright started it all off with a beautiful slip pass out there to number 8, Barry Walker. There was Carter's pass. You saw it go out there to Fittler. How Carter got his pass away, I'll never know. Got it out to Stewart, the big lanky young winger who's supposed to be one of the fastest men in rugby league. And back on the inside to Brad Fittler, and he goes in for a splendid, absolutely splendid try. But watch Alexander, the big fella Cartwright again. Away there to Walker. Walker goes just nicely to Carter, that lovely pass away, well pulled in by Fittler, out to Stewart. Stewart strides out, very nearly ankle tapped as he goes through, and perfectly timed the pass back inside to Fittler, who backed up on the inside. Now that's what you call quality play, absolutely beautiful, and run into a very strong wind. And he's only 18 years of age, this Brad Fittler.
Sparkling try from the Panthers. Alexander, 43 from 67, into this very, very strong wind, into the sun and on the touchline. If he kicks this, he should get 4 points. Unsuccessful. But the Panthers have the lead over Brisbane, 4-2.
The Panthers, you would think they've got a big breeze at their back. Penalty is going to go Penrith's way here, as Jackson is called out.
Well, the State Bank replay, Cartwright goes very, very strongly forward, and you saw Jackson come in there with what appeared to be a punch. We couldn't see it land, but it apparently was directed at Cartwright. The penalty comes.
Alexander will kick for goal. A big crowd here at Penrith looking into the sun. Unsuccessful from wide out, but a good kick into the breeze. He's bringing this one around perfectly with that breeze. This is an excellent start for the Panthers. 6 points to 2 over the Broncos. Dowling, good ball away for Kevin Walters. Now G is involved straight away after getting up from being injured and comes away with a strong run.
Lance.
Jackson.
Lance.
Kicking away from Green, looking for a lot of chases. Langer, Kevin Walters, Johns and Kahn. Johns and Langer make the tackle. Past 20 minutes in this first half. They must be caught in two minds, the Broncos, Bill. I know they've got to kick a lot, but they haven't had much possession.
Exactly. It creates a problem, doesn't it? You haven't had much ball. You're doing a lot of tackling. The last thing you want to do is give the opposition the ball. But I think they could have kicked a bit more. A few times they played out to tackle 3 and 4, and they look for that extra yard. You know, I don't know why footballers do that. They try and pinch an extra yard running with it, and they get 60 kicking it with this Gale.
Batanza got away with a couple of extra ones. Clark. Last tackle against the Panthers. Simmons for Alexander. Down the throat of Hoff. Fittler's in front of him. He stepped in beautifully. He was then wrapped up by Carter. He's going to go wide. Kevin Walters. Great hit from Vandervoort. Johns. They're bunched at the moment. They're frustrated with the pattern of play. Jackson kicks. Bouncing towards the sideline. Green cuts it off. Beats the tackle of Kevin Walters, and Langer straightens up, puts Penrith back on the attack. This big crowd start to get behind the men from the mountains once more. Batanza with another strong burst. Eddie Ward's trying to get the Broncos back. Walker hit over the top by Backo. Alexander shows it once, then brings Cartwright on the inside, and Cartwright ends up knocking David Green down. Clark looking for work. One more tackle again. On a short blindside goes Alexander. A little kick for himself. It bounced up for a moment, and Kahn knocked it on. He said it come off my head.
Well, let's see it again on the State Bank replay. Now, there's the little kick by Alexander, the grubber-type kick. Now, Kahn comes in for it. Well, it may have well come off his head at the start, but he certainly touched it with his hands after that. And it's a knock-on and a scrum feed to the Penrith side.
Alexander, Carter, trying to step inside Kevin Walters. Madison had broken quickly. David Green from dummy half. 5 metres away, Penrith. And another try here would put the competition frontrunners in a lot of trouble. Alexander calls for the switch. Cartwright showed it back for Alexander. Nearly got through himself. Nearly stretches out. Simmons. Alexander. I thought it was forward. It is. Eddie Ward's got it.
Yeah, good ruling by Eddie Ward there. A critical one because the Broncos had had plenty to say if that one had been allowed. Pass went slightly forward.
A change coming up, Bill.
Gavin Allen, the time's come. Sam Backo's done his job and he's going to be replaced.
I've got to say Sam Backo hasn't done a bad job either, and I've been a critic of his, but he's done a pretty fair job. He's hit some very strong tackles and run a fair bit and made 2 or 3 or 4 charges with the football. Been good stuff from him.
Johns. And that scrum when the ball had gone back into the in goal. Allen. Home. Good bust from Home. Kevin Walters is clear. He's got Madison on the inside. He can't link with him. Now they want to quick play the ball. They've got Penrith going backwards. Langer trying to keep the roll on. Madison. Over the top was Bentley. The Tanzer just getting back into the line. Langer, nobody at home. No fullback back. Alexander and Langer will race for it. Alexander lets it run dead back to the 22. Something at last from Brisbane.
Yes, a great little bust there by Walters to go for a long way, but then the kick by Langer was just weighted too strong, just over the dead ball line.
This is Clark, and straight into Hone. Now Cartwright. Well, look at that, the possession held down the other end of the football field. 39 for the Panthers and just 9 for Brisbane. Tells you how this game's been played. Here's Vitanza. Just about on the halfway mark. Back for Alexander. Sends this down for Khan. Can't link up with anyone. Takes the tackle just short of the 22. Hoff. Got past the 22 with a good step. Allen. 32 out from the Brisbane line with Langer. Now Kevin Walters. This is off the side of the boot and just manages to find touch. Thought it was going to go out in the full for a moment.
Yes, looked a little bit suspicious, that one. State Bank replay. Just watch it as it lands. Dong, just inside the line. 6 inches.
So this scrum will go down about 8 metres inside the Penrith half. Work by Alexander. Did the feed, no problems. Carter is there. Bentley standing in the tackle. Here's Green. In the middle of the sand. Fittler. Stepping beautifully off the left foot. Into the clear is Fittler. Hoff got, Hoff missed him. Fittler might score on his own, he will. Oh, brilliant solo effort from Brad Fittler. Sensational stuff from him.
Well, what can I say about this talented youngster, 18 years of age, scoring a solo try like that? Absolutely superb. Watch him as he gets the ball and steps, goes back on the inside of Dowling and just takes off and really goes. Now, look at Hoff. Hoff is a very good defender normally. He was made to look very inept on that occasion. Mind you, a fullback's got nothing on the go for himself when a player's got that much side space and he can use his feet. But there he went inside Dowling and outside of Walters. Comes to Hoff, the big step off the left foot, straightens, goes, gets caught just as he comes to the line by Khan and scores a magnificent try. That really is copybook rugby league. This Penrith side are firing like cannons today, let me tell you, and the Brisbane Broncos could be well on the way to consecutive losses.
No problems for Greg Alexander. Oh, the Panthers running hot. 12-2, Penrith over Brisbane. The Broncos are going to be hard-pressed to score from down this end of the field. They're only 10 metres away from their own line. And only seconds remaining in this first half. So what a performance it's been from the Panthers.
Yeah, I think the credit must go to the Broncos for their defence in this last 6 or 7 minutes. They've really done a magnificent job.
Walters won't get a chance to play it as the halftime siren sounds. And referee Eddie Ward sends them to the break with the Panthers leading the Broncos 12-2.
What a difficult assignment for the Broncos. 10 points they've got to turn around. Eddie Ward gets us restarted. Alexander keeps it low down to Jackson, who had an unhappy first half. most of his teammates, though. Billy, what was said at half-time?
Well, Brisbane didn't use the wind, but Penrith are going to Phil Gould's instructions, use the breeze and then keep putting the test to them in the forwards. Wayne Bennett knew that his team had made the cardinal sin in football. They just kept making handling mistakes, but Graeme, they are going to continue to push the ball around. They realise they've got to score points.
That's the way they play the game best, but it can be fraught with danger in such a breeze. Kevin Walters finds a hole up the middle. He beat Alexander. He was brought down by Geyer from behind. That's got to be a penalty. Geyer was there for an eternity.
Yeah, State Bank replay. You see Mark Geyer lying there. That's a no-no. He knows it. Everybody knows it. The referees know it. It's a mandatory penalty. Can't be avoided. State Bank replay.
Now Hoff makes another mistake for Brisbane. Didn't find touch. Willis stepping well.
He's gone well today, young Willis.
Hone makes another tackle. 110 tackles in possession. Easily they lead the way, the Panthers. Geyer wide. Stepped inside Hone. Taken by Allen. How many times do you get your mind set on one team as a favourite for this Winfield Cup, only to turn around and another team seems to run into a real purple patch, just like the Panthers. Green. Simmons. The Tanza. Last tackle. Alexander behind the defence. Khan is there. Wasn't tackled. They let him get away. Beats Alexander. Shadow creeping across here at Penrith Park from the main grandstand. Allen 40 metres out from his own line. Langer. Kevin Walters. They've got numbers here. Jackson, good quick hands. Johns, the run around with Jackson for Hoff. Ducks a high tackle from Carter. A little bit better from Brisbane. Langer. Madison. The defence was up quick. He had to go back inside. Langer. Hasn't had too many opportunities in this match. Kevin Walters. Rebounds off Walker. Hone knocks it on. Walker gets another chance. Vandervoort goes for a run. Defense. The Broncos are getting turned around very easily. Alexander, the Tanza. Tanza injured in that tackle. The crowd were calling for a penalty.
Yes, a fairly high tackle by Allen here. Well, I've seen plenty penalised for that.
Certainly the equal of Guyers. Probably a little worse. Clark. One more left for Penrith. This will be straight down to Hancock. Taken by Fittler. Hoff. They need a runner in the forwards. Bill, that man would have been Miles.
Yes, he would have been. He leads by example, doesn't he? But they are flat, Graeme. There's no other way to describe it. There's just no impetus in what they do. And when their forwards do take the ball forward, there's no support runner that's making them easy pickings. You could never discount the Brisbane team because they can score tries from anywhere on the field. But they won't get out of this unless there's a marked change in their attitude. Two words, flatness and enthusiasm, both lacking.
Dowling. G. Better support play from the forwards. Allen couldn't cut it loose for Langer. They switch again to a blind side. Langer, cut out pass for Jackson. It's on the last. It'll be a handover.
So the Panthers about 30 metres out from their own line. David Green. Guy from a long way back. Really charged onto that football. Crowd saw something. The referee didn't. Here's Carter. Up to the halfway mark. Simmons working that blind side with Bentley. Now Alexander. Walker. They've used up 5 tackles now, the Panthers. 10 metres inside the Brisbane half. Back for Alexander. Hancock's gone back for it. The kick will be too big.
So often the scrum packs, and Langer a number of times tries to feed it before the front rows really do come down. Hoff. There's been hints in this second half that the Broncos have started to support each other a lot better in the forwards. Kevin Walters for Langer. Loses it. Trying to get back into this game, Brisbane. They allow another opportunity for Penrith to creep away.
Yes, the unforced error rate among pretty near all the Brisbane Broncos is very high. Unforced error.
Carter. She only just got him. The Tanza. They camp outside the 22. Clark. He had support on the outside. Now the inside for Simmons. Alexander up the middle. Is this the time? Taken by Walters. Was he after the ball, or was that an uppercut? Geyer. Carter. Carter for the corner. Back in field for Willis. Did he get it down? This is a try. They do creep away. I think it's Willis back on the inside.
Yes, splendid stuff here. Big Geyer involves himself with the State Bank replay. Gets it out to Carter. Now Carter gets around Johns, and just as he's about to be tackled, he gets that one-handed pass away back on the inside to Willis, and Willis comes in and scores a very neat try. Didn't have to run for it, only had to bend down, but nonetheless, there was the work that was done. The long pass from Geyer, and that beautiful bit of football judgment there from Carter, able to get the ball back inside to Willis. See it again from ground level. Now Geyer goes bang, out she goes a long way out to the right. Carter, the little dummy, he gets Johns there in the wrong vein, and actually got the pass away when he was unheld, but nearly on the ground. Oh, splendid stuff. Darren Willis is the try scorer, only a kid, age 21. Electrician. He's certainly been electric today.
And from being near minor premiers, a loss this afternoon could see them in so much bother. Penrith will join them. Penrith's day here at Penrith Park. I thought that was coming through. Just wide. The Panthers 16, the Broncos 2.
Now Allen. The Penrith supporters very vocal. Look at them clapping and cheering their side on. Panthers now with a very real chance of the minor premiership. Langer finds Jackson. Jackson finds Hoff. And the big fullback almost into touch. Walters. Langer. Langer saw the gap, but it closed too quickly for him. And he's been penalised for passing off the ground. So nothing going the Broncos' way.
Well, here's the tackle. He's right down on the ground. He was held. At no point was he entitled to tackle after he got partially up onto his sort of knees or the back of his leg again. He'd been put on the ground, and they still had a hand on him. So he was tackled. Hence the penalty.
Alexander to use this breeze again. And he uses it very well. Those statistics will start to add up again in the opposition's half. Willis, late inclusion after a number of injuries in this Penrith side, as was the other winger, Darren Stewart. They're both having fine matches. Vandervoort. Matter of fact, I don't think you can find a bad Panther. Clark, Green, Clark and Batanza have made the rucks their own. The Vatanza off the Alexander pass.
They're pushing each other out of the way to get to the football. Everybody in the Penrith side wants to run with it.
Walker. And runs strongly with it. 10 metres out, last tackle. Alexander, field goal. It's wide.
Mark, it's been a big day, 12 weeks out. You come back in the reserve grade and you finish in what looks like a winning first grade.
Yeah, it's great, mate. Just so good to be back on the paddock. That's all I've ever wanted to do is play. And to play 2 games today and get a bit of fitness back is good for me, you know.
Penrith went into this game very much as underdogs. What was the key?
I just think it's a bit of spirit in the club now, you know. Maybe in the last couple of years we haven't had, and the side just getting stronger and stronger every week. It's great to be a part of it.
Mark, thanks for being with us, mate.
Thanks, Billy.
Now it's Brisbane, still with about 15 minutes in this match.
And G will play it just outside the 22. The Broncos still to cross the line. Jackson to the 22. And losing the football.
Yeah, got the pass away late. Very bad judgment there. The pass has been given along the ground to a Penrith player, and they're out of possession again. It's total lack of discipline with the ball.
So now Waddell will play the football. Here's Simmons.
What a comeback Simmons has had too.
And this could well be the first game this season that the Broncos have failed to score a try. As Bentley is pulled to the ground and losing the football, the Broncos will have it. Dowling. Now here's G to Allen.
Waddle's in there with a quick tackle that knocked Allen over.
Yes, they haven't given up at all, Penrith. They just tackle relentlessly, even with this lead. Now Kevin Walters. And that's typical of the Broncos' play today, isn't it?
Well, I think that pass was very forward, but fortunately it went to ground.
Now Langer. This will sit up for Green. Got away from G. Green will play it 32 metres away from the Penrith line. We've seen so often, Billy Anderson, that Langer and Walters have been instrumental in getting the Broncos going. Not today.
Well, they're the keys, aren't they? You know, they handle the ball more than anyone else. Kerrod Walters from dummy half and Langer at first receiver. But I think the Penrith tactics have been superb. They've shut those 2 players down and they haven't been able to find any space at all anywhere else across the field. This is a very good, a very committed Penrith side.
Now, they're losing the football this time. Walker was desperately trying to get that pass away for Waddell. So the scrum goes down just inside the Brisbane half. Shadows of the grandstand starting to really creep across this ground now. Johns.
Very laborious play the ball too. That's one of the areas they've fallen away badly in. They normally are very quick to play the football, fight their way clear of the tackle. They've done it fairly laboriously today. They've been very easy marks from this very fast-moving Penrith defence. Everybody's fired up on the Penrith side.
And Hone takes it up. You saw the scrums were even at 7. Hone's lost the football. Not much you can say, really, is there?
Not a whole lot you can say. I think Hone's been a very committed player for the Broncos. I think he's done a huge amount of tackling. But Vatanza took the ball off him there like taking a lolly away from a kid.
Here's Vatanza again. Getting up towards the halfway mark. Alexander sends Hancock back. Well, isn't that just typical of the Broncos today? Hancock making it dead himself in the end.
Yeah, this is one of the most curious performances I've ever seen from Hancock today. He really hasn't looked like an Australian winger. There's something wrong with him, or I don't know whether he's come back too soon from injury or he's got some thought in his mind, but he's a player that looks like being selected in the Australian side to go to New Zealand. And on today's form, he couldn't pick him.
Certainly not on today's performance anyway. Now it's down for Green on the halfway mark. Brings it back, 32 out by the time he plays the ball. Another penalty going the Panthers' way. Well, Brisbane's starting to wonder why they bothered to make the trip down here.
Well, I dare say all the Penrith fans are glad they made the trip down here, aren't they? They don't often see their side players well and in such a precision way as they've done. And 2 of the tries they've scored have been worthy of any game under the most perfect conditions you can ever see. 2 beautiful long tries. The Fittler try, the Fittler 2 tries. Both superb.
Flying high it has been all afternoon long for Penrith, and plenty of power. Keeps it low, but low and successful.
18-2 that score. Penrith over Brisbane. What a performance from the Panthers. Hancock will play it. This is home. It'll be a long trip back to Brisbane for these fellas.
It certainly will. They've not looked good in any facet of the game at all. All their good players in previous weeks have all had very ordinary games. This man here, number 2, Hancock, has just been pulled down almost with ease every time he's captured the football. Jackson's had a pretty ordinary game. Kicking to the open wing like this. Oh dear, if Willis could have got that quickly, that's offside, that player.
He had to be offside. He was in front of the player. Bentley, he was in front of
Willis.
Of the winger Willis. So Walters.
That may well have saved the Brisbane side from an embarrassment there, because that kick to the open wing there left it very unguarded on the right for the Brisbane side, and Willis is pretty quick.
It was very dangerous. And here they come again, the Broncos. If they can hang on to it for a set of 6.
As they go through the sand trap.
Maybe that's the problem with them. Maybe they don't like playing on the sand.
Well, they better get used to it.
Oh dear. G wasn't expecting it. Starting to become a comedy of errors.
Yeah, they've got that very humble look on their faces now, the Brisbane side. They look at the side, they don't want to talk to anyone. They won't want to discuss football. They won't want to do anything at the conclusion of this game.
As I mentioned to you, they're going to face Newcastle next Friday night up at Lang Park. And I guess they could be without 1 or 2 of their players on test duties as well.
Yes, they could.
That test, of course, in New Zealand. We'll be bringing it to you on Sunday. So you won't miss any of the action next weekend. Royce Simmons nearly tripping over, but we're able to get it away to Vitanza. Walker. The game has really started to slow down now. Clark.
He's really going very, very powerfully, Clark. I'm a little bit in the state of shock at the number of times he was left in the Balmain reserve grade side. I always thought he was a regular first grader.
David Green looking for touch, just a touch too long. Out on the full. 2.5 minutes of play remaining. And the Broncos still have yet to get over the line. This is home. This tenacious Penrith defence got to him. That was a good pass, but now they've made the mistakes again. And lost the football. And Willis has come away with it. They can't believe this performance from Brisbane. Quite astonishing. Bentley. Football went behind him. Picked up by Willis. And the tackle count restarts as it was touched by a Brisbane player. Vitanza.
He's been a workhorse today, Vitanza, with the Penrith side.
Lost the football there. Madison comes away with it. Now he's Dowling. Pulled by Vandervoort, who's done a tremendous amount of work.
Well, there's almost no player on the Penrith side that you can point the finger at. They've all had good games.
Indeed they have, as Jackson makes the break this time. Trying to link up with the support, couldn't do it. He'll play it just 11 metres inside the Penrith half. Langer. Now back for Kevin Walters. He's able to link up out there with Hone, who gets to the 22. Kevin Walters from dummy half, looking for a runner. Johns has it. A one-handed pass along the ground, bounced up for Kevin Walters. Flicking it anywhere. Kevin Walters ends up with it. Now it's with G. They've lost about 15 metres in that little play. Madison is caught. Last tackle now for the Brisbane side. Langer's put it down. Yes, I agree with you, Alan.
Yes, it looks good tell, eh? Just the look of a disgusted player.
Simmons with the restart with less than half a minute to go. In fact, I did say less than half a minute. Seconds it was. Full-time siren sounds. And Brisbane say, well, thank you for that. It was quite a performance from the Penrith side. And a terribly, terribly disappointing effort from the Brisbane Broncos.
Well, the Brisbane Broncos have lost 2 matches in a row now. The Manly side did them last week, and this time it's been the Penrith side. This is the way the scoring went. Fittler scored 2 tries, both of them sensational tries. Willis scored a try. Alexander kicked 3 goals, 18 points. Brisbane got 2 points only. Madison kicked 1 goal. So 18 points to Penrith,